Hello, my name is Sarah Sloan, and you are listening to The Sarah Sloan Show. Hey, you guys, hope you're doing well. Little story, little update from me. I had prunes for like the first time in a long time. My parents told me to eat them for number 2. I ate the prunes, and then a couple of days later, I was taking a shower at night. I start going crazy. I am just like burping like there's no tomorrow. And it's like deep guttural burps. Like think of the movie Elf, and it's just like you have no control. You're just like, you're like, where is this coming from? And it was just kind of scary. It's like, am I gonna throw up? Like, what's gonna happen here? So, yeah, so that was really bad. I wasn't happy with that situation, and I almost even thought like, can I eat? Like, can I eat food, or am I just gonna throw up this food? But yeah, then I remembered, oh, it's the prunes. But the prunes are supposed to help you do number 2, which is great if you could do number 2. I love doing number 2. And it didn't really lead to any number 2. It just led to just nonstop, which I'm actually very good. That's one of my secret talents. Well, I guess it's not a secret anymore, but I'm very good at just like burping nonstop, uncontrollably. So, man. From what I know, if you eat those ghost pepper wings from Popeyes, that will help you do number 2, but it will be extremely painful. So just keep that in mind. And of course, any laxatives, I guess, that you take, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not crazy. But I am very attractive, so don't forget that. Oh, man. Okay, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Republican debate. It was interesting. It was the third one. It was done in Florida. Yeah, I would say, okay, even though it was done by NBC, which is a liberal company, it was probably the best one so far. The last 2 were done by Fox, but the second one was done with Univision. So, it is what it is. Gosh, they had more control of the candidates. It seemed like they weren't like breaking the rules, talking over time, trying to speak whenever others were answering questions. It just kind of seemed to flow a lot better. Now, like, definitely there were some flaws in the debate. Like, they probably could have like gotten some really good discussion, like with certain topics that were being raised, and they could have been like, hey, well, what do you think about what he just said, that kind of a thing. And that didn't seem to happen. It felt a little bit more like a interview, like, we're gonna ask you a question, you answer it, we'll ask you a question, you answer it. And everybody was very respectful. I bet they had to like kind of agree to something. It just seemed like they were much more toned down. I don't know why all of them were really much more toned down, but definitely there was still some juicy drama scenes from it, which is kind of why we watch, honestly. Now, of course, let's all remember Trump wasn't there. I keep on saying, oh, I wish he'd joined for the next one, but I'm still like, I still think I'm wrong every time I say that, because I'm like, no, it's better that he doesn't join, because they're just going to make fun of him. The other candidates they're just going to be nasty. The first debate, I think it was 8 candidates. The second was 7 candidates. This third one was 5 candidates. So it was Christie, Tim Scott, it was Vivek, it was Nikki Haley, it was DeSantis. So yeah, so those 5. Now there's going to be another debate coming up. I am so pumped for this. I'll try not to talk about it more than the actual debate that we're trying to talk about today. But guys, oh my gosh, Megyn Kelly is going to be one of the moderators. As you know, I'm a huge fan of her. I've never missed one of her podcast episodes. I love her podcast so much. And she has just been, it's hard for her to just watch them do such a terrible job moderating these debates whenever she knows she could do better. So it's News Nation. I think a lot of people like me, we haven't watched News Nation. We haven't really been exposed to it. They're trying to be the middle ground for the news, but yeah, and then a lady named Eliana Johnson. I think she's more of an editor for, I think it's a Washington Examiner. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then a lady that works for News Nation. So 3 lady moderators. Very interesting. In a way, they might be stricter because they're women and they're trying to like compensate for something. Like, let's be real. But honestly, the fact that Megan's there, guys, if you're going to watch a debate, watch this one. Please watch the 4th one that's going to happen. But yeah. But let's go back to the 3rd one. That's the thing. I didn't want to talk too much about the next one, but I knew I was going to be a little tempted to. Yeah, so it was interesting, you guys. I'm just going to start by playing the first clip, and then we'll talk a little bit more after we do that. And sorry, everybody had to answer the first question. And so basically what I'm about to play is Vivek answering this question.
Let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Christian Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Christian, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Roberts.
This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story. And they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
That was probably Vivek's best moment of the debate. And he's expressing frustration that a lot of us have, a lot of us Republicans have. Do you think there would be a Democrat-only Fox News debate? I think we all know that would never in a million years happen. For whatever reason, it feels like Republicans have to be the bigger person. They always have to be okay with everything. And let's be real. Like he said, it's Ronna McDaniel. She's in charge of the Republican Party. And actually, I figured out recently, somebody said on another podcast that she is a relative of Mitt Romney. She is a Romney. So it explains a lot of that weak thinking, pathetic, just not my favorite, not what I like to see in politics. And yeah, Vivek was frustrated. He said he saw Ronna McDaniel. He gave the story. He saw Ronna McDaniel and she was like, give me a hug. And he was like, I'm not going to give you a hug. I'll shake your hand. And he's like, and she's like, how you doing? And he's like, I'm not happy. The Virginia polls and everything, how it all turned out, Virginia didn't do very well. And she's like, yeah, aren't you upset about that? And she was like, oh, that's state stuff. I'm in charge of federal. Well, first she said what happened, and then she said what I just said. And he was just like, what? So he's not impressed with her. And yeah, she's the one that said, yeah, NBC, no issue if you do a debate. The thing is, okay, it might seem really stupid what he said. Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan moderating a debate. What a stupid thing. Blah, blah, blah. Well, isn't Joe Rogan a liberal anyway? And we don't even really know Elon Musk politics. Yeah, but I think it'd still be better than these guys, Lester Holt and Kristen, whatever her name is. I think it'd still be better than them. And yeah, I'm sorry, but the viewership would be insane. And that would help a lot of people too. But do we know who would probably stop that from happening? Ronna McDaniel. She would never let that happen. And so, yeah, he literally said, like, come up here, I'll offer my time. Now, of course, she was never going to go up there. Like, let's be real. That'd be pretty funny. But she was very upset with him. She said, I'm not giving you any money, Vivek, for your race. She said that after the fact. But it was a good moment because it's just like, hey, you're asking us the questions. You guys suck. The media. You guys lie about everything. You pick and choose your stories that you want to cover just based on what's going to make, kind of further your narrative. And we've always got to be okay with that. But you guys are the joke. We should be asking you the questions. Why do you guys suck so much? Yeah, Greg Gutfeld moderating a Democrat debate. That would never happen. It's so unfair, and we're so used to it because it's just the way it's been for so long. but it's not okay. It's not normal. Nothing about this is normal. So it's insane. It truly is insane. I'm very proud of Vivek for what he says. And obviously we know that Trump, he started this kind of talk. We never truly knew how bad fake news was until Trump was exposing it. And they just went ballistic on him and basically proved that he was right. We never knew. We never knew. And Vivek is kind of furthering that. I want Trump to be there on the debate stage, but I also don't. I don't know if it'd really be that good for him if he did. I'd really like him to be there with Megyn Kelly again, so she can ask him another spicy question, and then he answers it, and he solidifies his win, because that's what happened last time, and it was awesome. Yeah, she asked him, something along the lines of, "You've spoken kind of rudely to women," and he's like, "Only Rosie O'Donnell," was his answer, and it was just like, oh, it was amazing. It was amazing, but he still holds a grudge about it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Vivek did a great job. He should have been very proud of his performance in that portion of it. Now, we all know it was planned. We all know it was rehearsed, but I don't care. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now, another part of this was that I've been talking about with the other debates that Vivek and Nikki Haley, it's obvious they don't like each other. I don't think I realized how bad it was. I knew they didn't like each other. They hate each other. It's crazy how much they dislike each other. After the debate, you always see, kind of what the candidates do. And most of them, they go up to the other candidates. And even though it was tense, even though it was awkward, they shake the hands of the candidate, say a little something to them, and then go on with their family and wave to the crowds and everything else. Yeah, that did happen. But guess what? Vivek totally walked around so he wouldn't have to say anything to Nikki Haley. And I think Nikki Haley was just fine with that. No issue whatsoever. Yeah, Nikki Haley, I think she was, I don't know, I think she was kind of dumb for this. She was attacking DeSantis a lot more, but somebody was saying that apparently she has competition in New Hampshire for with Chris Christie, and if she can get New Hampshire, that could actually really help her. But she was attacking DeSantis just so much, to the point where he was just like, "Okay, I'll go back at you if you're going to be this way," kind of, yeah, that kind of a zone. And then real quick, I before, because I know I'm going to forget about Tim Scott. Tim Scott was there. He was really talking a lot about God, and honestly, although I know that it's like cringe to a lot of people, it was really refreshing to hear a politician like talk so openly about God and just how like we are a Christian nation. That's what we need to go back to, our morals and everything else. So I was really grateful for Tim Scott, saying all that stuff. We know he's not going to win. We know he has no chance. That was probably his last debate. And you know what? If you can use your platform, if you can use your place to be able to speak about God in such a public manner, then honestly, props to you. I think he did his job in this presidential campaign. I hope it did some good. It really touched my heart, just hearing him speak so openly. But yeah, he's not going to win. He's not president material. Senator is the highest he'll go. And you know what? That's pretty dang high. That's pretty good. So just be happy with that, man. It was kind of cool to see him and Vivek. I saw them bump fists and all that. It was cool. It was very cute. And then Christie was just very boring, very muted. I think he's just trying to hopefully get a job. I think he just wants a job with whoever wins. And so he's trying not to rock the boat. He's trying not to offend anybody. We already know he hates Vivek, but he also knows that Vivek isn't going to win. And so we know that all these people on the stage, none of them are going to win unless something absolutely terrible happens to Trump, which heaven forbid that happens. Now, okay, so Haley and Vivek, this next clip I'm going to play really shows some of their tensest moments. You've probably already seen it because the debate happened a few days ago and it was spreading around like wildfire. So let me play that.
In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my
before
daughter
appreciating
out of your
anybody else's
voice.
adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy
scum.
answer is actually to say that we're just going to ban one app. We got to go further. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got
Ramaswamy.
two of them on stage
Mr.
tonight.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
Yes, I'd first like to say they're 5-inch heels, and I don't wear them unless you can run in them.
We've got two of you on stage.
The second thing that I will say is I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition.
So, I got some heels right now, and I just want you to know there's a lot of ammunition. Double the ammunition. I don't know what she meant by that. I don't know what she was trying to say with the whole, I use them for ammunition. And also, like, I don't walk in them unless you can run in them or something like that. I don't even know what she was saying. I'd like to see her run in these. Please, run in these. Only these specific ones. Run in these right now, Haley. What kind of crap was that? I hate that feminine garbage. It's so cringe. I hate it so much. Okay, so Vivek, he was right. She made fun of him for TikTok. Her daughter is a 25-year-old nurse. She was sitting on the front row of the debate. You don't do that unless you're okay with the media attention. So yeah, you don't go to any public event if you're trying to stay away from the crowds, which I can understand. Maybe if I was her daughter, I'd be like, yeah, you're running for president. I'm not. I'm going to stay at home. I will support you. I'll still vote for you. I'll still tell my friends to vote for you. But I'm not going to sit at the front row of the debate. That's a choice. You choose whether or not to attend these events. And she very gladly, after this apparently terrible thing that Vivek said, she went right up on the stage with her mother, was waving at the crowd, smiling for the pictures. Her daughter's fine with the media attention. She's fine being brought into this. She's 25. I think we also need to... why are we acting like 25-year-old women are babies that can't be talked about one time? And also, take what she is saying seriously. If TikTok is the most evil thing, if it is the worst thing in the world, if it should be banned and we're going to criticize Trump because he didn't ban it, why does your daughter use it? And I know she's 25. So her mom can't be like, I'm doing parent block on your phone. I'm going to take away the app. I know that. But why is your daughter using it? What's that say about you and your daughter? You've maybe you don't care to tell her that it's the most dangerous app in the world. It will kill humanity, all this stuff. Or you did tell her, she doesn't give a flip about what you have to say. If you can't manage your family, how can you manage a country? I think it's fair game. And a lot of people were so upset that Vivek did this. Like, oh, we don't like to talk about the family. We don't need to talk about the family. It's politics, baby. It's going to get ugly. It is ugly. Quit pretending that we should go back to, oh, wait, let's think about this. Politics used to be ugly, or whenever people would duel. They would kill each other. Politics has gotten a lot softer than that. So let's not be all persnickety about the way that we behave. And also, I don't think it's very nice thing to call a person scum. If we're going to talk about, oh, well, this is nice, that's nice. So she called him scum. Okay, well, I think he needs to get over that if that's the case. Like, that's what it is. It's a shot for a shot. She's nasty, is all I'm going to say. I think he can be annoying, and he knows how to get under her skin. I think he can be aggravating. I'm sure he's not fun to run against. But you also didn't have to make him such an enemy. And whenever she said in the last debate, I think, yeah, I get dumber every time I hear you speak. And then, yeah, he said in a podcast, he was like, yeah, I was like, really think about that. She feels dumber every time he speaks because maybe he's saying such truth that it exposes her lack of knowledge. So, yeah. It was, yeah, you don't want candidates calling each other scum, but I think we've got to just stop being so like, oh, this is so inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. Because it's about an actual issue. So, oh, the drama was so good. It was so good. I am happy that Vivek is running for president for the primary reason that he is exposing Nikki Haley for who she truly is. And I know I know a lot of people don't agree with me on this. I don't like Nikki Haley. I don't trust Nikki Haley. She is totally just trying to compensate for something, trying to get us into wars. She was helping Boeing while she was governor. She then works for the UN. Then afterwards, she's on the board of Boeing, makes millions of dollars. And then she starts her firm, like a military firm. She makes a lot of money with that. It's just like, how does she know so much about foreign relations? If you hear her talk about foreign relations, you can tell this woman actually knows what she's talking about. It's very impressive. You might know a lot about it if that was your business. Oh, and why was that your business? You were making money off of the fact that you were a politician. Is that a good thing? I don't think that's a good thing. And yeah, she wants us to invade every country. She wants us to throw bombs everywhere. That's her full intent. She wants us to give more money to Ukraine. She totally does. Money, 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 money. That's all she cares about. So that is the reason why I'm happy Vivek is running. Truly, that alone, to expose Nikki Haley for what she is. Oh, man. Okay. And then I wanted to stop and talk about this. So there was the amount of time that they always track for who spoke the most. I was pretty surprised by this. Take a guess out of the 5 who spoke the most. Okay. It was Tim Scott. He spoke 18 minutes and 55 seconds. Nikki Haley, she spoke 18 minutes and 2 seconds. Vivek spoke 17 minutes and 37 seconds. DeSantis spoke 16 minutes and 19 seconds. Christie spoke 16 minutes and 15 seconds. So I thought that was really interesting that Tim Scott spoke the most. That really, really surprised me. But yeah, I think that they almost wanted to expose more of Tim Scott to get him to leave. I felt like his role in the debate was like, well, actually, according to my calculations. He was just like, he wasn't truly answering questions. He was mostly just like being like, yeah, finding the flaw in the question and just like correcting it, which isn't super, super helpful. But he also gave some good answers on stuff. You know, I think he's not a good debater, so this was one of his better performances. And then I barely talked about DeSantis at this point. DeSantis, he is getting better with every debate. He's getting more comfortable with every debate. And, of course, he's been having the recent thing of, is he wearing heels, essentially, with his boots? Yeah, is that a thing? You know, I don't know. His boots do look pretty intense. Yeah, they've got a weird curvature to them, and the heel is pretty high. You know, maybe he's insecure about his height. You know, if I was a guy, I'd probably, that'd be a sticking point for me too. Loss of hair would probably be as well. You know, things aren't easy in that sense. Poor babies. But he, basically, I think that he really shows an ability to have self-control, to be mature, to give good answers for stuff. He doesn't take any risk. He really doesn't. Where it stands, every debate, I keep on thinking, I want Trump first. Then DeSantis. Then Vivek. That's what I say after this debate, too. I want Trump first, then DeSantis, then Vivek. Definitely not Nikki. Definitely not Christie. And definitely not Tim Scott. I guess after Vivek, then Tim Scott, then Christie, then Haley. I really don't like Haley, as you can see. I just don't like her. Okay, so then I wanted to play a clip of Haley talking about abortion. People really seem to like what she said here. I have mixed feelings about it.
Consistently blamed the abortion issue and how Republican candidates have talked about it for their electoral losses. How do you see the path forward?
I've said it before. I think you have to be honest with the American people. This is a personal issue for every woman and every man. I am unapologetically pro-life, not because the Republican Party tells me to be, but because my husband Michael was adopted and I had trouble having both of my children. So I'm surrounded by blessings. Having said that, when you look post-Roe, a wrong was made right. They took it out of the hands of unelected justices and they put it in the hands of the people. And now we're seeing states vote. And what I'll tell you is, as much as I'm pro-life, I don't judge anyone for being pro-choice, and I don't want them to judge me for being pro-life. So when we're looking at this, there are some states that are going more on the pro-life side. I welcome that. There are some states that are going more on the pro-choice side. I wish that wasn't the case, but the people decided. But when it comes to the federal law, which is what's being debated here, be honest, it's going to take 60 Senate votes, a majority of the House, and a president to sign it. So no, we haven't had 60 Senate votes in over 100 years. We might have 45 pro-life senators. So no Republican president can ban abortions any more than a Democrat president can ban these state laws.
So on its face, her answer seems just like so nice and so good. Now, what the narrative has been for these recent losses on the Republican side, like especially the one that just, all the losses in Virginia that just happened like this past week, is that it's abortion. Abortion is the issue that's hurting Republicans. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't think anyone really knows if that's necessarily true, but that's the narrative that everyone's saying. Just abortion alone is hurting us. Whenever, the repeal, basically with the Dodd's decision, it gave the decision to the states. Now people are trying to come up with a federal rule on abortion. I tend to think that, there shouldn't be one. I think it should truly just be the states. And so in that sense, I agree with Nikki Haley, but then she also kind of goes against what she says. And she's like, if there was a rule, then I'd vote for it. It's kind of confusing. But I think it really should truly leave it to the states. Don't come up with a federal rule. Stay out of it. This isn't a federal issue. It's a state by state issue. That's how we got in this trouble in the first place. So stop, because no matter what, she keeps on saying we can come to a consensus. We can come to a compromise. I promise you, no one will ever be happy with whatever federal rule they come up with. No one will ever, not 100% of people will ever be truly happy. It's just the truth. But you can choose the state you want to live in. And you can decide what you're okay with. Now, the reality is that a lot of people don't like the states that allow, whatever on the abortion front, because somebody said, I think it was like someone like David Barton, he said that how a person votes on abortion will dictate how they vote on everything else, because overall it shows that they don't care about life. And I think that that is so true. And the truth of the matter is, think of abortion like slavery. Just switch the terms. Whenever she says, I am unapologetically pro-life, I don't want anyone to judge me for being pro-life, like I wouldn't judge them for being pro-choice. Okay, so I am totally against slavery. I don't want anyone to judge me for being against slavery, just like I won't judge anybody for owning slaves. I want to respect their decision to own slaves. So don't judge me, and I won't judge you. I think we'd all say, no, that's not okay. Why would we say that? Because slavery is wrong. Okay, well, abortion is wrong. So, like, what are we doing? It's silliness. I get it though. It's better that Republicans win than Democrats win. And that will save lives over time. So in that sense, it's tough. It's a tough thing. She probably is having a smart approach right now, but I won't lie to you. I have this internal conflict inside myself. Is that really the best approach? Or is it better to just be an honest politician? I don't know. We have yet to see on that one, and she's going to get another chance to give more thoughts about abortion in the future, but man, you never see Democrats have this kind of a, hey, don't judge me, they never talk that way. It's you're the enemy, and that's all there is to it. Sometimes I wish we had a little bit more boldness, like the Democrats do. So I think that DeSantis won the debate. I think Vivek really helped his overall image in the debate. I think Nikki lowered her image in the debate. And I think that Scott and Christie show that they just need to get out. So that's kind of where it stands right now with me. So excited for the next one. We'll do another show about that, obviously. And you better watch with me because I need you guys like you need me. Unhealthy, codependent relationship. You know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to Proverbs 27, verse 2. Let another man praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. I love this verse because it's so true. Don't sing your own praises. Somebody else can do that for you. Because the second you start getting arrogant, people don't like that. There was this video and it was like talking about, it had people like assessing how attractive each other were, and they were like ranking each other. It was girls, and then guys came in and then they ranked the girls, and it was amazing that the guys thought a little differently than the girls did, and you could tell people were offended. And so then they did a video that was about intelligence, and so these people ranked each other by who they thought was the most intelligent, and then they actually did an IQ test, and all the people that were saying how important the IQ test was, they ended up being lower, and a lot of people ended up being higher, and the people with the PhDs were a little lower than the guy who was like in the Marines. Humility and everything else, just be humble. Just stop thinking of yourself, think of others, and then others can talk about you. Because otherwise you're wasting your words. What is it like if you did a good deed and then you boasted about it? Okay, you just got your reward. You just got your reward. That's another biblical concept. So, but God can help us. Like, if you have an issue with that, he can help you to silence your little baby mouth. Just silence. Like, you know, I told you guys I try stand-up every now and then with the open mic. There are some times where I feel like I do pretty good. Then there's other times where I really suck. So, am I going to say I'm the best in the world? You will laugh every time you come and see me? No, I try to set expectations low. Because I don't know how I'm going to be that night. I might really suck. And it's better that you have expectations low, so then if I do okay, then you'll be okay with me. Instead of saying, yeah, just know I'm like the next Chappelle, okay? I'm like the best thing in the world. Because that's a lie. Even at my best, I'm not even close to the best comedians. So why lie? God can help us. All right. Hey guys, I think my light is flickering. That means it's time to go. All right, I think it means it's time to go. All right, you guys are wonderful. Have a great night, or I will for you. Goodbye.